If you ever said, I want to be healthier, I want to launch my business, I want to start my YouTube blog, I want to have more energy, and nothing happened, then this video is for you. My name is Julia, and this is Confidence. You know what I've noticed? That most women, they don't fail because they don't know how to set goals. I think we all know how to set those goals. But they fail because there is no system for them to kind of check and integrate and reflect. And in this video, I will walk you through the system that I created. It's called High Five Method. And hopefully that's going to be very helpful for you and you can take it with you. We are going to do a screencast. So I will show you on a live example how exactly you can apply that method. And I'm going to take one area and literally dissect every step so you can then take the system and apply it into your own life. By the way, I did this thing kind of backwards. So after this video, I highly recommend you checking out my video that I'm going to link here. And it's about how to actually take those goals, small steps, and create the most perfect calendar for you based on your unique life, your unique situations, and your unique circumstances. So before we get into the system, I want to tell you that confidence is built through keeping promises to yourself. You keep the promise, you create a positive feedback in your brain, and you moving on towards the next step. And it goes both ways. If you don't keep the promise to yourself, then you create a negative loop that, well, you see, you don't matter. So why even bother? So let's get into the method. It's called the High Five Method. And this is the method where we set goals without any pressure or burnout. So it stands for align, act, acknowledge, appreciate, and adjust. So this method has 5 steps. The first one is align. You have to align your goals with your true desires, with your highest self, if you wish, with what sets your soul on fire. The next step is act. You need to act upon those steps. The next step is acknowledge. You need to acknowledge that you are showing up for yourself. The next step is appreciate, right? You need to also appreciate yourself, small routines you can build so you can fuel your transformation and don't end up and burning out yourself and just throwing it and saying, this doesn't work, I'll come back to it later, okay? And the final step is adjust. That's where most people make huge mistakes. They set the goal, they take action, for example, right? They may even acknowledge this. They may even celebrate their steps. And then something doesn't work. And they're like, oh, this goal wasn't for me. It's not working. But in any system, in any business, and I'm treating my life as business, I'm actually treating my life, my schedule, my energy as projects, right? So in any project, most likely you are gonna fail because you just can't predict the best case scenario and end up and like, okay, it worked. Yes, let's do it. Most likely you're gonna have to, pivot and see like, okay, maybe this path didn't work. And I don't want you to feel that if you try one path, another path, and it didn't work, that's it, you don't. No. It's just you need to analyze and you're constantly evolving. The priority changes and you always need to look into the data that you have in your life to pivot, adjust, and start again. So now let's apply this to a real life. If you're not familiar with Wheel of Life Balance, I love this exercise because it literally shows the data, where you're at right now. Please do not treat it as a punishment or as a failure, right? I I work with clients, and for like so many years we're doing this exercise, and I'm telling you that people like, oh gosh, I'm a failure. And I'm like, no, you're not, because this is just the data for you to see where you maybe were focusing and everything is working right now. And maybe some areas of your life, this is now where you have an opportunity to pay attention to those. So you have those areas. You can take any other areas if you'd like. There are some other areas like contribution, and I like this one. You can separate family and friends, for instance, right? You can also separate, let's say, mental health, physical health, whatever you want. So what you can do right now is take a paper and a pen or a marker or a pencil, and you're going to draw this wheel of life. You're going to divide it by the 8 areas. There are some wheel of lives that have 10 areas, 12 areas, but for the sake of this video, let's keep it at 8. So you're going to divide it from 0 to 10, and that's your scale, right? And on that scale, you're going to rate where are you right now at the specific area. Be very, very, very honest with yourself, okay? It's so important that you are not minimizing where you're at, and you're not like, okay, this is 9. Because when I work with people and I start asking them like, okay, so what is your 9? And they like, well, they give me 2 things. And I'm like, do you think it's really 9? Do you think you can do better? Or like that maybe that's your ceiling and like we can raise this up? They're like, interesting question. You know what? You're right. So always be as honest as you can. Another thing that I want to say, that your wheel of life and the baseline or the ceiling will constantly move. So for example, easy example, let's say finances. Let's say you are making, let's say $5,000 a month right now, right? So you can say that compared to the previous period of your life, $5,000 is like 9. You're like, oh, okay. But then when we are setting goals and I'm asking like, hey, what would be like a great step up for you? You can say, I think $7,000 would be amazing. So now you're 9 at $5,000 moving down, right? Now it's instead of 9, it's probably going to be like 6 or 7. Okay. So I just want you to keep that in mind, that the baseline and what is like wow for you right now when you're setting those goals is going to move down with the quality of your life improving as well. Okay. So when you check the scale, right, move towards like clockwise, then what you can do is you can take a color pencil and just like kind of color it so you can see, is that a wheel or is not a wheel, right? Can it actually roll, or it's gonna be very bumpy if you like have these wheels, let's say, and you're like, wow. So the next thing for you is to also look at your wheel of life, right? And think about this in this way when we're setting goals, right? Because like we're still just in like we evaluating what's going on, what's happening right now. When we're setting goals, what I see a lot of the times people do, they let's say have their health at 8, and they like, great, I want to go as 9, which is amazing goal to have. However, let's say their romantic part is at 2. So now, because they're very good at their health routine, maybe they constantly going to the gym, they have their diet dialed up, they have everything, they have good sleep and things like that. It's easier for them to focus on that area because they know what to do there, right? However, I would highly recommend you to look and to like focus and take 2 to 3 areas. Please, please, please. I see this mistake all the time. People like, I'm going to go and attack every area in my wheel of life balance. And it's false because you don't have that capacity. You don't have that energy. mostly can focus on 2 goals, or like if you're increasing those, from like a very low levels, 3 at max, with like more self-development and more things you do, obviously your energetic capacity also increases. So please start with 2 to 3. Do it as healthy, right, and as safe as possible. So let's say your romantic life is at 2. You're like, okay, this is where I'm going to be focusing this year. And a little bit in a couple minutes, we're going to go into life example. I'm going to show you on the health. And then in the next video, I will walk you through the project management. Because like you're probably going to have more goals in your life and more things that are going to be happening outside of those 2-3 goals that you chose. I love that framework. I'm going to show you how to manage and how to literally do everything that you want. And then I'm going to come back to the scheduling part and going to show you how to just add it as well. Because good news, you're probably not going to end up with the same schedule as you had in the very beginning of your year. Now, let's go back to our goals. So you can see here as an example, this is one of my clients. So we started in March, and then the second one we did in May. So you can see her wheel of life balance didn't dramatically blew up, right? And she got into like 10 out of 10. But you can see that the area in all like areas that we were focusing on increased. Not only, but then when you increase one area that is very, very sinking right now, I guarantee you all other areas will be increased. For example, you want to be more have more fun and recreation, right? But you also want to have more dates with your friends. So by combining fun and recreation, you're probably going to invite your friends, and all together this will raise those areas simultaneously. Okay, so this is a great example how you can track your life progress. You do this wheel of life, like usually in my programs we do it like every 4 to 5 months, right? And we compare. Okay, so now let me jump into my laptop and I'm gonna screencast how actually goal setting looks like, okay? The 5 steps of the system: align, act, acknowledge, appreciate, adjust. And first and foremost, the way I love to set the goals is not by I wanna and we're gonna get into the more of the measurable goals later, but the way of how I wanna feel. Let's say I wanna be healthier. But what does it mean, be healthy? Do I need more energy? Do I need more sleep? Do I want to have, I don't know, better mood? I want to lose weight. And why, if I want to lose weight, why do I want to lose weight? So you need to align and think about what if this area goes up a notch. What do I want to feel there? How is it going to be a difference between, let's say, 5 and 4 in my life, or 6 and 4, right? Something's probably going to change. So I want you to really, really dial down on the vision of the why the goal is that matters to you. Okay, so align first, align on that goal, right? Then act. Then we're gonna go and acknowledge, appreciate, and adjust. So here we go. I'm sharing with you again, you can apply this to any area of your life. This is a little bit nerdy, but I hope it's also helpful. So 20 pounds by the end of 2026. For example, this is my goal, right? And it's just an example. So, but why? I'm like, okay, why do I want to lose that? Because if you don't know the why, and it's just a goal that you just, for some reason, thought could be okay, good, why not? I guarantee you're going to procrastinate. It's not going to happen. The second thing is I want you to imagine the path, the road towards this goal. It has to be created in the most joyful, enjoyable way, because the goal is not the end result of this goal is not the goal. The road is the goal, because you live life and you want really enjoy this life and not be miserable by the end of achieving this goal and being like, gosh, I don't care about this goal anymore. fuck that, right? You know, probably a lot of the stories when people get super wealthy and all of a sudden they don't have a family because they spend all their time building their wealth and now they don't even have anyone to share it with. So make sure the path you create for each goal is enjoyable. Always ask if you don't know anything, and we're going to get into this later, but always ask, if I don't know this, then maybe not how, but who, right? Next, how do I get there, right? So this is the how first. Next, well, let's see. I can make sure that I go to the gym 3 times, 3 days a week, right? Always question that. Is it possible? One of the examples, I had a client and she's like, I want to go, and we were working on her health actually. And she's like, I want to work out 5 times a week. And I'm like, okay, how many times do you go now? And she goes 2. And I'm like, why are you not going 5? She's like, well, because like my schedule. I'm like, well, why do you think your schedule will magically change tomorrow or next week? She's like, well, yeah, valid point. So if I didn't ask her this question, she would set the goal for 5 times a week and she would be very upset, right? Because she didn't she didn't hit the 5 times, right? She was like, well, and then she would create that negative self-trust. And obviously like, well, you know, the motivation will go down, the inspiration will go down, and the discipline also as well would go down. So ask yourself, is that possible for me to do 5 times a week? If yes, go ahead. If no, set it lower. Set it, if you're going twice right now, go 3 times. It's way better than, not way better, but it's better than 2, right? It's more, 3 more than 2. Next one, let's say, what else I can do for this? I can maybe do 2 walks for 30 minutes a day, right? For example, in the morning and then afternoon. Is it possible? Yes. Can I do 3? Maybe no. Let's start with this. And that's the beauty of the method I'm teaching you right now, because you're always going to adjust whatever is happening. Next one, how else I can lose 20 pounds? Well, I probably can dance, maybe dance class, Zumba, Pilates, yoga, whatever it is I can do. Okay, great. So those are my components of the goal, of the one goal. Next one. Okay, gym. Do I know which gym am I going? Do I have membership, right? So it's already turning into what did I tell you? A project, because this is not a 2-minute thing that you can do and it's all set. So, okay, membership, great. Oh, wait, gym clothes, right? I do have some, but I because it's a goal for me and it's important, I kind of want to look nice. So maybe I also order some nice clothes, right? Wait, I don't know what the hell am I supposed to do in the gym? Like, I only do cardio. So can I see if I can hire a coach? Maybe the gym offers a coach, right? Oh, wait, sneakers. I do need a better sneakers, right? So all of those things, if you don't think about them very in details, will set you up for a failure, because like you will be getting ready for the gym and you're like, oh shit, I don't have sneakers. Yeah. So please be as specific and dissect your goal, your one road, as much as possible. Next one, 20 minutes walk. Okay, do I have where I can walk, or do I need to drive? If I need to drive 40 minutes, then I'm not going to walk. Then maybe I can walk around my neighborhood. What is the loop in my neighborhood? It's going to be 15 minutes. Great. So I can do 2 loops. Next one. Let's say this is for me. Oh, I can also go to Mueller Park. It's only 8 minutes. So maybe you need to research parks around you and see which one you like, right? Walking sneakers. Here I go. Maybe I need walking sneakers, right? I have just a flat shoes. I need walking sneakers. Way better. What happens if it's rainy? If it's rainy, I am going to the gym and I'm going to do my walk at the gym, right? Done. Next, dance class. Good. Find the class. Okay. See what class is in your area. Invite a friend. Way better, right? Then, okay, what else do I need? Healthy diet. I need to dial up my diet. and so on, right? So you can build as many things and just, have fun with this. This is so cool. This is like a project management, and you're just doing it for yourself. What comes next is, how do I want to feel? I am sexy in my new outfit, feeling like a rock star, enjoying my body. So I can see that. Have a lot of energy, right? Here we go. This is how I'm gonna feel while I'm doing all of those things. Now what happens next? You go into you keep this in mind. Align. We already did that, right? Act. We did that. We went to the gym. We have all our classes and things like that, right? Here. Acknowledge. This is where you're gonna come you can do this in a calendar. I have a big calendar on my wall, and all the time I have, let's say, a set. This is, for example, I have 12 workouts per month. I can do it two workouts. I may skip a week, right? For whatever reason, but then I have the time to catch up with this. So this is how I do my things. And I just check. I'm acknowledging, I'm celebrating. I have pictures, like a small printer that I print, and I put this on my calendar, as you can see on your screen. And this is how I acknowledge the work, right? Then what I go into the appreciate. I appreciate my body. I appreciate my mental health. I appreciate my brain, my mind, everything. I make sure I sleep well, right? I'm not punishing myself with late nights, movies or TV shows. I have a window from 10 to 11. I have to be in bed. And whatever is not in alignment with that doesn't even get considered by me, right? If someone inviting me to the event that, let's say, starts at 8 and ends at 2 a.m., I'm not going. I'm not going because 10 to 11, this is my window. 9:30 is where I'm already getting ready to go to bed and doing my rituals, because I'm appreciating myself. I am celebrating myself, right? There's a meditation, there's like a hair routine that I have, like all of those things. You need to say, hey, give yourself a high five. It's amazing. You're good. And what happens next? You adjust. That's the most beautiful part. You go back to your plan and you're like, hey, I finished this project and I have maybe like 3 hours every day that I don't need to do anything right now. Great. Maybe I can add one more day of the gym workout, right? Or maybe I can go on the class. Or if I'm enjoying walks, then I am gonna go for a walk. And this is how you adjust. And this is how you stay in a flow, flexible, but also in the system, right? Okay, and another thing that I wanna tell you, that you can always, and if you look at my previous video, go and ask AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. If you got stuck and you're like, okay, I don't even know how to break down this goal, they will give you, right, absolutely amazing support. Sometimes they give you ideas and different angles that you would never even think about, right? So for example, if we're taking this health goal, you got to the portion of the healthy diet and you're like, oh, I don't know, like how much should I eat? Like how much protein, or what even the breakdown should be. And there's so many different ways of how you can create your meal plan. But like let's say you don't want to count calories, although I highly recommend you doing it in the very beginning. But let's say you're like, okay, hey, ChatGPT, my goal is to lose 26 pounds. I am active. I'm going this like 3 times in the gym. I'm doing my walks. So my weight is this. This is my sleep. This is how much water I drink, blah, 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 blah. Please, can you give me a balanced diet with the protein, fats, and carbohydrates that will support my goal. And it will give you and calculate you everything. And then you can say, hey, I'm not calculating calories. Can you suggest how I can measure it without like calories, right? Because if you're new to like calorie counting, I've done it for, 9 years. I can literally cut avocado and say this is 3 ounces and it's going to be 3 ounces, right? But if you're new, I guarantee you the portion of your, like the size of your portion probably will be exaggerated a little bit by you. So like make sure you have like scales and you track that, right? So it will give you advice, right? And then you're like, hey, can you give me very simple recipes that would also support my lifestyle? I don't have much time to cook, but also tasty and delicious. And it will give you everything. Please use AI as your personal assistant in literally anything. And now you have it. This is your confidence loop. Align, act, acknowledge, appreciate, and adjust. So the big insight I want you to take, the confident women, they are not more motivated. They just have a system that they trust. And that system is what allows them to move confidently with each step. And as I said, here's your confidence boost guide. Link is going to be down below in description. So those are the steps that I would recommend every woman to pay attention to if she wants to build her confidence, not only in career or relationships, but in general. I think confidence is such an underrated thing, and it's not a luxury or it's not an addition to you, who you are. It's your basic mechanism that should be there. And that's how every area, every goal, everything in your life will be easy to achieve and with a flow and happiness. But also imagine that you're not doing this alone. Imagine that everything we've done right now, you would be doing in a set of a community with women that are doing exactly the same, that are supporting you and celebrating and acknowledging you and appreciating your presence, and that are motivating you by showing and sharing their results. In March, I will be launching a Confidence Rebellion Challenge. This is the challenge that will help you to bridge that gap between knowledge and between doing. And the challenge is not only something that, I felt good about it. It's the scientifically proven approach every day, backed up with real studies and science that will even biologically rewire your brain and make you more confident with those small little steps that we're going to be doing. Okay. So if you're interested in participating in that, it's a 7-day. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I guarantee you. And within those 7 days, we're also going to be supporting one goal that you have right now, or a thing that you were postponing for so long. We're going to set small, little, actionable steps. And within those 7 days, you're going to get this wheel rolling. Okay? Link in the description. So what you're going to do, you're going to get your confidence boost guide, and it will automatically get you into my VIP newsletter. And only there, I will be announcing my challenge. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. Stay tuned, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And next video, I will walk you through the most beautiful, probably topic. I love this topic, is the project management of your life. By the way, with this system, I get to play volleyball, have different hobbies, go dance. I have 2 businesses. I record videos. I make content. I have a project with AI that I'm doing. It's my kind of like creative project on the side. I meet my friends every week. I go on the walks. I am healthy. I go to the gym 3 times per week. I do so many things within the same 24 hours with that system. So stay tuned. Thank you so much. Julia Dars, and this is Confidence. See you soon.